everyone, and welcome to the Brainstorm Hub. We are glad to have you joining us today as we open one of the most important challenges Africa is facing today. So, across many African regions, youth people are educated, skilled, and ready, but the opportunity remains limited. This raises a deep question whether our education, the economic system, and the future of our generation have the quality. So, in 2026, Africa is projected to have a significant youth population, which will be around 420 million of individuals aged from 15 to 35 of age. This represents more than 60% of the continental population. Across many African countries, youth unemployment is estimated to be around 15 to 25 in the people aged 18 to 25. So this is not just a number, but it represents many millions of people who are educated, full of energy, but still searching for the opportunity, which is often limited. So some expertise in Africa, they even describe this situation as a ticking time bomb. So because it does not only affect individuals, but it also affects the national development, the economic growth, and reduce the government revenues. But concerning all of those statistics, we wanted to just ask ourselves deep questions, not only statistics, like what does it mean when education is not transformed into practice? What does it mean when you are being educated just to pass exam, not to solve the real life issues? So, to explore those ideas, I'm joined with three great speakers who are also law students to share their own perspectives as young people who are studying in the system which is directly connected to the society and the governance. So today I'm with Miss Hamvutsa Stacy. She is a student she is a student leader and also general secretary in Monti Kigali University Law Student Association. Welcome, Miss Stacy.
Thank you.
So again with Miss Umutezi Saliha. She is also law student, but also she is the general secretary of Rotary Club. It is international non-governmental organization which gathers people who are in different careers to share knowledge. Welcome, Miss Saliha.
Thank you.
I'm also joined with Mr. Shaka Blight. He is also young and also young law student. Thank you to join us today.
Thank you, moderator.
Yes, but before we dive deeper in our discussion of today, I want to open the discussion with a question to Miss Saliha. So, Miss Saliha,
Yes.
what do you think our current education system is preparing the student to think beyond the what they are doing in exams, or they are just studying to pass exams, and how does that influence or have impact on the creativity and innovation among young people? Thank you.
You're welcome. Firstly, this is a very interesting theme that you are talking about. As he mentioned about the question, I would like to suggest my opinion and my points. What I think on our current education, we are not having, our current education is just focusing on exams, not just on what will be done maybe on practice or in their creativity. So this has the negative impact for the young generations or for the people who are seeking their job opportunity outside there, because as you can see, if they are focusing on just passing their exams, they are not competent for the outside market, for their job market. So this is affecting the society and the young generation in general, I think.
Yes, but also Miss Nhamvutsa can add on or something.
Okay, thank you. So in addition to what Speaker Sal has said, I think the education is not training the students to become the real problem solvers. They're just training them to become good students rather than training them to become real life problem solvers. So that's where the problem is mainly. So I think everything should include like practical changes, not prepare the students who are just ready to be good at math or to be good in chemistry, but also the students who are ready to solve any related chemistry problems. Yeah, that's my contribution.
Yes, you are right, because even I was surprised that there is the man who is called Joseph Mapongi. So he previously said that it is very dangerous to be studying in a system. For example, if you are studying about a business and you are studying business, and after you graduate you are going to search for a job where you have studied business, you should be creating a business. That raises the question about what you are being taught and what you are going to implement in the society. How comes a person have studied a business and he or she is not going to rise or to rise from the ground a business and going to search for a job? It raises the question.
I think African education can change in most of the countries, because maybe, as you can see, the education in Africa is somehow focusing on maybe passing only the exams, because students outside, they are coming outside and they're not facing with the real life what they have studied. They are not getting their practices. For example, we have those people who are graduated, who are graduated every year, but when they come outside, they are not able to work for what they have studied. We can give an example for the Chinese, the one who are building the roads in Africa, instead of the citizens inside the country. They are not the one who is building their country, and this must be the responsible for those ones who have studied it, and this is becoming a very big problem.
Adding on ideas that have been aired out by my colleague Sarah on problems concerning our education system, I think, or basing on statistics and the data we can see, we can come to say that mainly the real problem that is in the education system and should be discussed about is educating students or educating young children from the young age, mainly getting them adapted or getting them adaptive to practical-based education rather than paper-based education, where you find that mainly the students are focusing mainly on theories rather than carrying out practical things, which will later on help them in their adult ages, where they are old and starting to search for work or for things to do. So in that context, and in falling in that channel, we can say that our education system, basing on the past and the present, we can come to say that we have been used to theoretical things rather than practical things. So that's where the real problem is, and that's where we should mainly focus on trying to give ideas on how the education system can change things and bring us on the table on the ideas of carrying out practical things. Thank you.
Yes, but also still talking to the unemployment issue in Africa, you can even wonder about how some Africans are even struggling to go abroad because of that issue. It is because of that issue of unemployment which is among those young people, but it is not only in that context. We should also be wondering what are the causes of unemployment in Africa. It cannot only be concerning on education. So, talking about that, now, Mpuza, what do you think is another cause of unemployment in Africa?
Okay, so thank you. Another problem regarding the unemployment in Africa, it could be skills. Some people lack skills like creativity and innovation. You can't get those skills within the schools, whether primary, secondary, or universities. That requires like a capacity building, meeting the mentors who are going to like mentor you in what they have achieved, and then you, in those discussions that you make, you get like some crucial points that you're going to build on, and then become creative or become innovative. So I think there's also still lack of skills and people to give those skills like creativity and innovation, critical thinking, communication, skills like that. Not only
there is
education.
also lack of fundings among the young generations. They are lacking the money for their innovation or their creativity that they are making, because people are getting stressed and getting the mental health because of unemployment. So that can be a big problem for the young generations.
And also concerning to what Ms. Namfuta said, about lacking the skills to be implemented in different sectors of a job. You can even wonder. Previously, I had the discussion. The man who is called Dr. Lusa, he was saying about when he was going to start a company. He tried to find a Rwandan who has a knowledge about accounting, and he hired a student who have graduated in accounting, and that student said that he had a bachelor's degree in accounting, but he asked that children or that graduate to make for him a trial balance, and the student struggled to make that trial balance. You can wonder what they are studying, and even you can find that student with more than 80% of scores, which he can be considered as an educated person, but when it becomes to implement the knowledge she have gained from the university, it becomes another story. Yes.
There is lack of outside experiences or practices.
Even on this problem of education, where you find like we have a big gap in our education system, adding on to what my colleague said, Boy Mundimana and Miss Namfuta Stacy, they talked about the problem of wars. We can come to sit and round our minds around the problem of prolonged wars, like what are the causes of prolonged wars in our society and their impacts on our education system compared to the education systems that are abroad, where you find like our young fellow sisters and brothers, they go abroad searching for better education, searching for better social services, searching for many opportunities, because they can't find them in our societies. The cause of wars, or the problem of wars, where you find like not only in Rwanda, we come to see Libya in 2011, we come to see the current situations we are seeing in Sudan right now, we come to look at the problems of Congo, where we are seeing many refugees coming into Rwanda. They come into Rwanda looking for better social services, better education, so that they can advance their knowledge and try to survive in society. So, on the problem of skills, when we lose people because of wars, then we lose very many things. We lose skills. We lose like the money we are given by the societies to make our education system, for example, advance. It is lost in those circumstances. Then from there we can come to say that our societies, we should be keen in trying to say that let us sit and try to understand very clearly that the problems of education we are seeing right now, they are caused by very, very, very many things and very many disadvantages where we come to solve one thing and another thing comes. Then we should try to say that how can we solve those things. Thank you.
Yes, and also I wanted us to ask also about this question. Previously, I heard about it was just a discussion about young people. There are even some young people who does not even want to work. Yes, even if we say that we are unemployed, we are educated, we don't have a job, there are some categories there. If we say that in Africa, around 15 to 20% of African people, young people, are unemployed. But also including in that percentage, we have people who are not educated, who are educated, who might have the master's degree or bachelor's degree, but they don't want to work. How can you say about that one?
I think I have a suggestion on that. Maybe let's say an example, you have your master's, and when you come outside, you are getting the job. You are getting the job which gives you the money, which is not even related to what you have studied or what you are going to give to the society. The money is less than what you are going to give. Then in that moment, you can feel like you don't want the money, and maybe you can let that work due to the product that you are going to give the society is not what you are going to gain on that. Mm-hmm. Maybe lack of money in the society.
Yeah, lack of funding in our societies. It is a big problem where you come to find that we lack finances so that we can advance our education system, so that we can make our education system be strong and prevent young children from going abroad in search of those services, of those education services. Then lack of funding, it can be caused by very many things, where you come to find that the very citizen, because where does the governments get the funding? We get the governments get fundings from taxes. Then where can people get the taxes so that where can the government get taxes when people are not working, so that they pay those taxes, so that that money can be used to construct roads, can be used to construct health care, can be used to construct hospitals, to help in health care. That money can be used in constructing schools, so that we get to have strong education systems that are going to aid young children in getting knowledge. So, like lack of funding, it can be a big problem in society, when it can be a very big problem where you come to find that even governments collapse because of lack of funding to their citizens.
Yes, but still on that one, I don't know, but for me, even if we say that we are for we as young people in Africa, we lack some opportunities, we are jobless, we are this and that. But I still have that notion on saying that some of young people does not want to work. With that one, there is a scenario that my friend have told me. You find a girl who has nowadays they call them sponsors. A girl who is being sponsored with a man. At least he's giving that girl around 500 francs per month, and that girl, if at her level, if she's going to search for a job, she will need to start at around 200 per month. And if that girl got a job and started work, at the time she commits any mistake during her job and her boss tries to correct her, that girl will tend to say that if then I am getting the 2 times of my current payment, why do I need to still keep struggling here if I can go and sit at my home and still earn that kind of money? What can you say about it, Ms. Nambusa?
So thank you. In addition to what you just said, there are some factors that makes people do not need to work. For example, let's take a scenario like in a family. In a family, we know like some people have great names, some people have big companies, and the man who introduced that company has a son or even a daughter. So the moment she goes to school, she'll just go there only to hold that degree, the bachelor's or the master's or any other thing or any other certificate. Yet in her mind, she already knows that she has a position in that company. She won't be needing to study, she won't be need, even if she stays at home, she will still get the payment even if she doesn't go to work, just because she has inherited the wealth of his father or his mother. Yeah, that's among the factors that can make a person not.
Yes, coming back to impact of education at the level of unemployment in Africa, I want us to try to tackle on the current education system in Africa, because some of the students have been telling me that there are some lessons which are not essential to be taught to them during their studies. What did you say about it, Miss Sariha?
Yes, exactly. There are some. Let's take an example. If maybe you are studying languages. See, you are studying the languages, and in your courses there is maybe mathematics, there is maybe physics, there is maybe chemistry. So you are trying to struggle with those lessons, yet you don't want even to know them. You are just for your own. You want to struggle with the languages, and in the education system they are bringing those physics, those chemistries, those mathematics. So this can maybe interrupt
on the topic of unnecessary subjects in our education system, where we are discussing about like subjects that are not necessary. When, let's take an example, you are studying like land survey, so you come to study like biology, you come to study chemistry. So we can also talk about how our education system, like for example in Rwanda, the government has tried to implement or to initiate new curriculums, like where we find TVET schools have been implemented. It haven't been for a long time because of our current situations, of Rwanda. We are not very many years from the tragedies we had. So TVET schools have been put in place so that students can be educated practical things where you come to find, like in TVET schools, we come to learn multimedia, we come to learn software development, we come to learn mechanics, we come to learn construction. All those things have been put in TVET schools so that we go from paper-based theories of education to practical-based education, and that would be, and that is a very good advantage to the very citizens or children of Rwanda.
Yes, Mr. Shaka, thank you for that very insightful reflection. But also, I want Namvuta to summarize for us as we end, to summarize for us what advice can you give for the young people within Africa. So if then our current education system is not as good as we want, even we have some challenges, but what advice can you give a young person who is watching you today? What can he or she do to overcome those challenges we are facing currently? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. Among the advice that I could give, a person should be well trained in entrepreneurship, because all of us are not going to be employed by the same companies. No, we can't. But the moment you have the entrepreneurial skills, you can even set up your own business and try to recruit others so as to limit the number of the unemployed people within the country. So don't just wait for the company to call you. You can even start your own company or your own business and start to call people to come and search for the employment. So another thing, as I end, you see, when people graduate, that's basically based on the university. When people graduate, they have like the projects. Sometimes they pair you up with the person. So you find that the person, one person is the one who is trying to do all the project. You're not even helping him or her. So I think that you should collaborate and come up with a good project so that maybe if it is possible, you can even try it out when you have finished your graduation, because it's a great project that the lecturers or your professors have already approved. So that's what I think that people should do.
Yes.
By addition, so I think maybe even government should look for the talent of the young society, of the young people, so that they can give the investment to invest in their talents. People outside are having their talents, and maybe their parents are taking them to the schools because there is lack of fundings. So I think also lack of fundings are also needed.
Yes. Concluding, even though we have those kind of issue within Africa, but I think for us as young people, the advice I can give to young people is that we needed to be aware that we have those unemployment issues, we have those kind of education issues. Even if we have those issues, I like how our president said, we should be the solution to the issues that we have. Not just saying that we young people, we are jobless, we sit in the corner, we wait for being saved from that issue. No, you are the one to take action. You try and fail. You try today and fail. You try tomorrow and fail. You learn from your failure and you implement a new thing which should be also the interest to another person. So yes, to that one, as we conclude, I would like to thank our today's speaker. Thank you for being with us today, Ms. Namvuta Stacy, and also Shaka. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, moderator.
Thank you, Ms. Motesi Sariha, for being with us today.
Thank you.
And also thank you our observers, our listeners of today. We are glad to have you at these insightful discussions. We will be together every day in this kind of discussion. As young people, we are sharing our knowledges. And also, please, you can also give us your comment on this kind of discussion in the comment sections, and share to the person that you think needs to watch this kind of discussion. Thank you. See you.